Did you hear about the woman from Miami who went on vacation with her sister and ended up coming home in a casket? Denisha Delancy was just 29 years old, born and raised in Miami, Florida. A certified baddie from Liberty City, she loved to go out, travel, and enjoy life. This March, they were planning to celebrate her sister Sincaria's 29th birthday by planning a trip to the island of St. Martin with another friend for the very first time. The three young ladies booked a beautiful Airbnb on the Dutch side of the island along with a private driver. As soon as they arrived on the island, they went to their Airbnb, got cleaned up, and immediately went out to have fun at a day party. Later that night, they went to a club called the White Rabbit, and they met a man from Trinidad who was now living in St. Martin. He was being very generous and making sure that they were well taken care of. So by the time the night ended, they told their private driver that they didn't need him anymore, and they decided to ride home with this man because he had also booked an Airbnb just a few doors down from theirs. When they made it back to the room, the birthday girl and their friend Sasha went inside, while Denisha decided she was going to hang out with the men a little bit more. The plan was for them to go back to his Airbnb and hang out, but instead he drove her back to the club, and Denisha never made it back to her sister again. Her sister tried calling Denisha's phone over and over again, but there was no answer. Some hours later, they got a call from their private driver asking them if they were okay. And the girl said yes, but Denisha never made it back from hanging out with that man. When the driver heard this, he said, "Oh no, that man you were with, he was found dead early this morning." When the police first arrived on the scene, they thought it was just another traffic accident. But as they investigated, they saw that it was way more than that. Inside the car, they found a male driver and a female passenger, and they were both unresponsive. But when they investigated further, they realized that the crash was not the cause of their deaths. Police learned that the driver, Quincy Damon Sylvester, was a local businessman who was also suspected of being a drug lord, and police believe this murder was a targeted hit to execute him. Police say they found camera footage showing that there were some unknown men following Quincy around the club all night long. These men allowed them to leave the club and go all the way back to the Airbnb, but when they returned, they took their shot and got their man. Denisha just happened to be with him. Denisha was laid to rest in Miami by her family, who continued to grieve the loss of their daughter. Denisha was having the time of her life, and then her life was taken. What do you think of this story? Leave a comment to let me know. I'm Tierka with the T. Follow for more.
When we used to go to the club back in the day, we always had a rule. We come together and we leave together. It don't matter who want to take you home. It don't matter how much money he got. When we come together, we are always going to leave together, no matter what, especially if we're in a whole nother country. So this 29-year-old woman from Miami, her name is Denisha Delancy.
Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, welcome on board, and if you haven't subscribed, please hit on the subscribe button in order not to miss any of my latest videos. Right, this video has been trending for over a week right now about this Denisha girl that went to St. Martin's to have a celebration of her birthday with her sister, and it turned out that she hooked up with a drug dealer, right, and momentarily ended her life. And a lot of people have been coming for her to the point that her sister had to come out to speak. A lot of people were saying that she was trying to hook up with a rich person. She was being, naive, going with a person that she just met, in a strange country that she has never been to. She didn't know the in and outs, and now these things are happening. These are the kind of girls that usually go out for men who have money, regardless if they are just knowing them for the first time. And again, just like I said, rest in peace to her and her family, but people need to understand that it can happen to anybody, right? The fact that she hooked up with this guy, in a way, I know it's dangerous, right? Because you have to be very careful, right? But people are just, throwing judgment at her that she was the reason why this thing happened to her in the first place, and that her sister and the other person that were on the vacation didn't really do what is expected of them to stop her from going with this guy, being that they are in a strange country, they do not know these people, they do not know this man, but she still went ahead and went with this person, right? And it's kind of crazy, just like I said, it can happen to anybody. But again, if you go to a strange country, you need to be very careful. You need to, because you don't know nobody. It's kind of dangerous out there, and it's not just even in a new country, even in your own country it could be dangerous. You can't just meet somebody and then you just go with them like that. You have to do your background checks, and do the needful, because these days are very, very crazy. You have to be safe. You have to make sure that the people you're going out with, all of you go to wherever you're going together and come back together. There's nothing like, oh, I'm gonna go, oh, I'm gonna step out, you guys should wait for me, oh, I'm gonna come back. No, you have to learn to teach yourself to be looking for each other, right? Each other's safety. And it's not even just women, even men alike, right? So because just like I said, we are living in a very crazy world right now, and things are happening so fast, so you need to be very careful. And it's not just to people traveling in groups, right? It's also boils down to people that usually go on solo travels, so you need to be very, very careful. So guys, if you haven't watched this, please watch the very end and let me know what you think in the comments.
Trigger warning, this is a very sad story. Once again, trigger warning, this is a real sad story that happened between a woman and a man on vacation. Okay, so let me read this. So sad. Denisha Delancy went on vacation to St. Martin with her sister and tragically passed away after unknowingly hooking up with a wealthy rug lord who had a $1 million bounty on his head. Both have passed away. So this is the story. Denisha went on a trip with her sister, right? St. Martin's. They got an Airbnb. It was nice. They was chilling. Apparently, they went out to the club that night because they was turned up and they had a driver. They went to the club and they met this man there, this guy right here. He turned up in the club with them. He must have been throwing big money, okay? Because apparently Denisha kind of liked him. He took them home. They told the driver, nah, we don't need you. He gonna take us home. When they got home, her sister and whoever else they went with went back in the Airbnb. She decided to go back out with the man. Now, unbeknownst to her, she riding with a rug dealer. And the island got money on his head, $1 million. So her sister wake up or later in the night, she start getting suspicious. And the driver call and say, oh, I just wanted to make sure everything was good with y'all. And she said, you know what? Everything is good with us, but my sister, she went back out with old boy that we seen at the club, but they ain't come back. Then the driver find the time to tell him, oh, that man is a rug lord. They got money on his head. Why you ain't say shit before, Cletus? Huh? So come to find out, police officers call and say, yo, the car flipped that they was in. It's a man and a woman occupying it. And both of them is unalive. Well, apparently it ain't had nothing to do with the car wreck. It was a hit. Okay. Prayers go out to her family because they had her funeral in Miami, man, and she had to get shit back to the States. But this is why y'all got to sit still on these vacations. Don't be minding vacation business. Your ass there to enjoy yourself. People living their lives. Prayers go out to Denisha Delancy and her family and her sister, man. Prayers go out to you because I know vacation will never be the same. But this is an eye opener. Stop traveling and leaving the damn resort or where you supposed to be. That's it.
Ladies, we are at risk. We have to be careful. Our circle will go around and the man them where we are take or the man them where we are go out with. You see the one them where we are go out with? Because apparently, it look like say, no, it's not the driver, them find the two of them dead and the man we should go with, Apparently the man is a drug lord. Some people offer him for killing. She was an innocent bystander based on what I get from the story. She is an innocent bystander because the man is a drug dealer, big drug kingpin. The man been a trail him. Them been a trail him. But it's so sad that right as him go look as she gone with him, she just get caught up in a crossfire. This is why in these times we can't have careless. We can't be too careless. We can't be too reckless. Things and times change. Fun done. I got time now.
She was unalived. Was on vacation with her sisters. Down there, she was celebrating her sister's birthday, and it says that she was there with her sister and friends. So they all go out. They go to the club. They hanging out and everything. And then some guy, his name is Quincy. He's from Trinidad. He pulls up to them and he starts buying them drinks and just, you know how it be when a rich, handsome man, I'm pretty sure he was handsome. He was just buying them drinks and spoiling them all night long. Now, apparently he was a businessman. So ladies, y'all already know them businessmen, they know how to trick you. But one thing my mama used to always tell me is don't take nothing from no man, because he gonna always want something in return. And especially for a man that you just met, like they just met at the club. And so after they finished partying and stuff, the sisters, they decide to go back to the Airbnb, the sister and friends or whatever. She decides to go with the dude to his Airbnb. And meanwhile, whole time they hanging together, the ops is tracking them. The dude Quincy, he got a whole PVC pipe business that he is laundering money through. And he this real big time drug lord. They had $1 million bounty on that man's head. So while they driving to the Airbnb, him and baby girl, they get into, well, the police, at first they thought that it was an accident. But when they went to go investigate it, they realized that her and Quincy, both of them in the car, unresponsive. So they both deceased. They had to send baby home in a casket. That is so sad. And then I can only imagine how the sister feels, because she had to leave her sister. But that's hard for her to come back without her sister. And, yeah, my condolences go out to the family, to all the friends that knew her, that know her. I mean, my goodness, 29 years old. That's very young. And again, ladies, y'all be careful out there. Be so mindful when you're dating. I mean, from what I understand right now, the dating pool is full of piss. I really don't know, because I don't indulge. But yeah, be careful, because these men out here is crazy. And even though it wasn't, it hadn't, I ain't gonna say it wasn't her fault, because she should have just never went home with him. But anyways, y'all drop down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think.
This is a real sad situation here, and this is being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Also, you have to be very careful when linking up with strangers. So this young lady here and her sister from Miami went to St. Martin on a vacation / birthday celebration. So they booked an Airbnb. When they reached across there, after they finished settle down, they decided, hey, let's go out, have a good time, let's go out party. So while they were out there enjoying themselves, this young lady met up with a guy. Now, why I'm sharing this too, because in another article it stated that the guy is a Trinidadian national living in St. Martin. So while out there liming, this young lady and the guy, they pulled square, they made plans, and they decide that they're going back to his place. So she left her sister at the place where they went to enjoy themselves and left with the guy, a stranger. I saw another article where they stated that the guy, he is into drugs. So while he was there with this young lady at the place, it had people marking him. Now, when they left, persons followed them, and you know what? They went for him, so she ended up getting killed as well. The poor sister don't even know what's going on. Now she had to go back to the place by herself, thinking, well, she out there enjoying herself with the guy, she will come back home. Only to hear the news that they found 2 dead bodies, a male and a female. Her sister. It's so sad, really sad. If she did only know, if this young lady did only know. People, don't forget, when you go out with your peeps, you go out with your folks. You understand what I'm saying? Don't forget, we live together, as a team, as a group, we're going back together. Don't separate from your people. You don't know who is who out there.
I'm on my way to see my sister, so I thought now would be the perfect time to get on here and say something, because there is just too much victim blaming going on. No matter how y'all try to spin a story, no matter if y'all blaming me, y'all blaming her, whatever, it does not fucking matter. Y'all don't know me and y'all don't know her. And I'm trying to get on here and not curse as much, but y'all really got us fucked up. It doesn't matter however y'all feel, what could have, should have, whatever. It doesn't matter. An innocent life was taken in that fucking island. Don't want to do shit about it because they're trying to save face for their tourists. It doesn't fucking matter. We want justice, because y'all have an active fucking gang war going on over there between St. Martin and Trinidad. Y'all don't want people to fucking know about it. So all the victim blaming needs to stop, because no matter what, we want fucking justice. And I don't even get on here and do shit like this, but y'all got my sister fucked up. And again, I'm trying not to curse, but stop. All we want is justice. For one, I'm not giving y'all the story time, but for one, them fucking people lied to us when we first got there. They told us that it was a car accident. Whole time they fucking knew my sister had got shot. They tried to make it seem like, oh, it was just an accident, whatever. If it was not for our driver, we would not know shit. We learned more from the locals than we did from the police. And still to this day, they're trying to keep us out the loop. They don't want to tell us shit. It was not until this story or whatever got some traction that they wanted to update their news site, call her mom, say, oh, we have this person in custody or whatever. But before that, it was fucking crickets from them. They were so nasty to us. When they told me and my girlfriend, they were so nasty. They had no sympathy, no nothing, no empathy, no nothing. They tell us the news, oh, she's been in an accident, and we, you know, reacting, crying, whatever. And they're looking at us like we're fucking crazy, like, okay, y'all can't sit in here and do this. Y'all got to get the fuck out of my office. That's literally how they treated us, and that's how we felt. We was asking for answers for days. It was not until I went back the next day and asked them, was she shot? Because the fucking driver, our private driver, told us that. He told us everything we already knew before we got there, what was up, but they did not want to tell us nothing. They wanted to lie and say it was a car accident to save fucking face for those tourists, because they did not want it to get out that an American innocent female had been murdered. All we want is justice for my sister. I don't give a fuck how y'all feel. I don't give a fuck how y'all want to turn a narrative on her and say that she could have did this, should have did this. It doesn't fucking matter. She was innocent and did not deserve that shit. Justice for Denisha.
Just like I said, it can happen to anybody. You know, we are not here to throw judgment, or, you know, and just like I said, I wish her sister, you know, to recover, because the sister is going to feel bad for literally the rest of her life, because she would have done more by stopping her sister from following the other person. But again, her sister is an adult, you know. But just like I said, if you must travel in a group, you need to watch out for each other. And if you're a solo traveler, you can't just be trusting people around. Even if you go for parties, if you go for clubbing, there's nothing like, I'm gonna go with you. No, because people are waiting to pry on strangers, because they know that you do not know much about the country or where you are right now, and they take advantage of that. So girls, boys alike, you need to be very careful. You need to make sure that you don't even go anywhere. Just go to places where the tourists usually meet, and you make sure you have a trusted guide that will take you in and take you back. There's nothing like you're gonna hook up with people that you met on your travels, right? Because just like I said, we are living in a very crazy days, and you can just be giving yourself like that to people. It's kind of dangerous out there, you know. And I just, like I said, it's not just even outside of your country, even within your country. So guys, if you have come far in this video, please do me the honor and hit on the subscribe button, hit on the like button, hit on the notification bell in order not to miss any of my videos. See you in the next one. Have a blessed day.